Hallways of crystal and oloolowy echoed, with rumors about the human girl and her rough but victorious warship model. Some cadets called it luck, a fleeting fluke. Others accused sabotage, and a few whispered that perhaps humanity held knowledge the others lacked. Lyra kept her focus low, working late in workshops. Long after the rest had gone, she cared little for gossip, though she noticed instructors now watched her with quiet curiosity instead of weary indifference. The next stage of training came swiftly. This time no simple test of endurance. The instructors revealed a group project. Teams would design entire fleets of ships, simulate large battles against one another, and prove designs could endure as a unit. For most species it was a new chance to show off flawless tools, code, and forms. For Lyra it was a test. Could her method work on a larger scale? Team rosters lit, and her name stood out like a fracture. Few wished to stand beside her, yet rules forced it. She was paired with Vaith, a crystalline cadet, Corel the reptilian, and Trither, a proud feathered Avon. They stood in silence at the bay, glaring at her as if she carried disease. Vaith spoke, first voice ringing like a struck gong. "We will not let your sticks and glue drag us into shame." Corel's tail slammed hard. "If she dares touch my circuits, I will cut her hands." Trither's wings fluffed in scorn. "Humans are background stock. Luck once does not mean ability." Lyra lowered her toolbox, met their gazes calmly. "Fine. Build your perfect fleets. I'll build mine. When battle comes, we will see what survives longer." They sneered, but cooperation was required. Grudgingly, work began. Aliens poured schematics into fabricators' drone swarms, buzzing as glittering hulls took shape. Lyra claimed her corner, spreading tools, cutting, scoring, taping, building squat armored beetles. They mocked her without pause, but she kept working. Slowly, patterns began to shift. Trither's fabricators glitched, spitting out warp frames. Vaitha's alloys shattered under press. Corel's circuits overheated mid-tests. Each time Lyra offered quiet solutions. Supports reroute energy by hand, patch with spares instead of waiting on drones. First ignored, then tried, and finally respected. Her ideas worked. By week's end they did not thank her, but the laughter was gone. Fleet trial day arrived. The amphitheater swelled with cadets, eager to witness her follow rise. The simulations displayed vast battlefield domes, asteroids, storms, enemy constructs. Teams launched fleets forward. Dozens of ships glided like hunting birds. Lyra's team looked divided, half sleek, gleaming crystal and Avon ships, half crude, blocky vessels built by her hand. Whispers spread fast. The signal blared. War began. Alien-built ships surged ahead, firing beams. In elegant arcs, they dazzled fast, deadly, until the constructs fired back. Hulls split. Symmetry shattered. Whole units blinked away. Lyra's vessels lagged, slower, awkward. When the barrage struck, they endured. Plates buckled, compartments closed, systems rerouted. One by one they pressed on through wreckage. Vaith hissed as his crystal craft shattered, while Lyra's blocks trudged on. Corel snarled as his systems fried, while her crude relays kept glowing. Trither's sleek arrows spiraled into ruins while her ugly ships advanced. A coordinated strike struck three of hers. One lost thrusters, another half its plating. But instead of failing, they locked together, braced, and kept firing as one. The chamber fell to silence. Her ships were not surviving. They were leading. When it ended, the sleek alien ships lay in ruin. The only craft that crossed the checkpoint, battered but intact, were Lyra's. The instructor's mandibles clicked. Results: Team 2 highest in durability and adaptive tactics. Survival rate 94% due to human designs. The chamber erupted. Cadets cried foul, accused deceit, denied endurance as victory. But the display stood above them undeniable. Lyra remained quiet, sweat on her brow, glue on her hands. No gloating, no taunt. Only this. War isn't won by beauty. It's won by what stands. Her teammates' eyes changed. Vaith vibrated. Corell's tail twitched uneasily. Trial went silent. No praise came, but no mockery either. As the crowd thinned, Lyra packed her tools. The academy would remember this day. Sneers remained, but cracks had formed. And through those cracks something new spread. In hidden rooms, among instructors and watchers, whispers rose like sparks. If a human outbuilt them in simulation, what if real war came? The academy could not contain the argument. Soon after, instructors declared a grand simulation, one meant to mimic true war. Entire philosophies would clash, fleets built not by students but by cultures, no longer a class but proof of whose ideas ruled battle. Lyra stood silent as the announcement echoed. Eyes turned on her, some scornful, some curious, some afraid. Had beaten them once. Could she do it again? Her instructor said nothing, yet lingered near, watching with a mix of unease and fascination. Across the bays, alien cadets poured resources into gleaming leviathans. Their fleets rose, like sculptures of power, hulls curved and shimmering with flowing conduits. Warships glittered with jeweled weapons, crafted to intimidate and impress. Built for glory, for beauty, for pride. Lyra opened her battered box of tools. She worked alone with sticks, composites, glue, tape, and the stubborn patience of a life spent making something from scraps. Her design grew larger, more ambitious, yet its core remained the same. Thick ribs to brace the frame, armor layered like scales, compartments split to halt failure. The ship bristled with turrets she carved by hand, lined with relays she soldered herself. To outsiders it was crude, jagged, a relic beside alien brilliance. But to Lyra, it was a vow. This would not fall. It slid into weeks of labor. Whispers spread, accusations sharpened. Some named her fraud, others dismissed her, and still a few young cadets stole glances of wonder, imagining if they too could copy her resilience. Lyra taught nothing, preached nothing. She only built piece by piece until her vessel stood, blocky, defiant, towering in its bay. The day of the final simulation arrived. The amphitheater unfurled into a dome of stars. Projectors cast a vast battlefield, strewn with asteroid belts, raging storms, and hostile fleets. Hundreds of cadets launched their creations into the void. Sleek crystalline cruisers sliced like blades. Feathered corvettes moved in tight flocks, swift and dazzling. Reptilian dreadnoughts thundered ahead, cannons bristling. Lyra's ship crawled into the fray, scarred already. Before the first strike, the signal flared. The war began. Alien fleets surged forward. Torrent after torrent of energy blazing. Beams arced like rivers of fire across space. Lyra's ship looked lost, lumbering, slow. It fired little, endured much, hit after hit. The alien armadas carved brilliant paths, their radiance enthralling the spectators. But brilliance burned out. Asteroids tore formations apart. Storms fried their systems. Construct fleets pressed harder. The elegant ships faltered. Crystal cruisers shattered under their own vibrations. Feathered wings burned their engines bare. Reptilian hulks imploded when one reactor cascaded through the rest. Beauty and symmetry collapsed in kiss. Yet Lyra's vessel endured. Plates bent, compartments sealed, power shifted. Turrets died, then sputtered alive. Thrusters failed. Then backups ignited. When chunks sheared off, the core still fought on. One by one, rivals fell until the display revealed the unthinkable. The last ship crawling forward, battered but alive, was human. The chamber froze, silence so heavy it swallowed the stars. Instructors stared. Cadets gaped. Dignitaries whispered furiously in the gallery above. Lyra stood alone, hands raw, clothes smudged with glue. No triumph in her stance, only a crooked smile as she whispered, still standing. The insectoid instructor broke the silence. Mandibles clicking, voice carrying. Verdict: human philosophy, survival through resilience, has exceeded expectation. Record the result. The hall erupted. Shouts of outrage clashed with demands for recognition. Some cried fraud. Others begged acknowledgement. They had seen perfection collapse while human stubbornness prevailed. For the first time in centuries, the Academy faced a truth it had denied. That evening the council convened. Its ruling echoed through every hall. Humanity was no longer a background species. Their philosophy of war, building not for elegance but survival, would be studied, respected, integrated. Lyra left the chamber quietly, toolbox in hand. Some cadets averted their eyes, others glared. But many simply stared in silence. She had not only survived their scorn, she had rewritten the Academy's lessons. In the weeks that followed, whispers changed. Alien cadets carried repair kits, tested crude patches, copied resilience in small ways. Some even approached Lyra not to mock but to ask. She answered little, always working, yet each question chipped away at arrogance that once seemed eternal. Humanity had carved its place, not with spectacle, but with refusal to yield. And in the great hall, her battered warship was placed on display, not as a trophy but as reminder, blocky, scarred, unyielding, proof that sometimes the simplest hands, guided by stubborn will, could shape the future of worlds.